The Umbrella Academy has moved its way to the top of the Netflix bingers watch list since it was released in mid-February, becoming Netflix's most popular show according to Parrot Analytics. That's no surprise though, because if badass superhero family drama wasn't already wild enough, there's also that little fact that it was originally written by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. So here's everything you need to know about how the Hargreaves children got from the brain of everyone's favorite preteen music icon to the top of Netflix's charts. But before we take that step back in time, hit that subscribe button. It may or may not cause the apocalypse, but more importantly, it'll keep you informed on what these guys are doing to stop it.
Get up, we're going.
Where?
Save the world.
Oh, is that all?
Oh, and while the first half of this is safe, there will be lots of spoilers later on, so you might want to binge it really quick before you watch the video. I did it in one weekend, so you got this.
Elaborate.
The Umbrella Academy was first published back in 2007 as a comic book series by artist Gabriel Ba and Gerard Way. Yep, that Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance and every emo preteen's god. Way has said his main inspiration for the series was actually Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, and an adaptation of that comic also premiered the same day as the Umbrella Academy. Do I sense a glitch in the Matrix? Anyway, the first Umbrella Academy comic book series was called Apocalypse Suite, which may sound slightly familiar considering this first season of the Netflix series is all about
The apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
The apocalypse.
Apocalypse Suite also established the origins of the Umbrella Academy, which involves 43 children around the world being born at the exact same time, but with a twist. None of their biological mothers were pregnant until moments before their births. That, of course, is followed by an uber-rich dude, Reginald Hargreaves, attempting to buy/adopt as many of those kids as he can, correctly assuming there's something very special about them. He only ended up with 7, but 6 of the 7 become the Umbrella Academy, a team of superpowered teenagers with the help of a genetically altered chimp named Pogo, who walks and talks like a human, and an extremely human-like robot who our characters refer to as Mom. Apocalypse Suite then takes us to present day. Well, for the most part, the children's adopted father has died, bringing them back to his mansion to mourn and also to sort through mysterious circumstances surrounding his death. Here we catch up with number 1, Luther, aka Space Boy, who's part man, part ape, and has super strength. Number 2, Diego, aka the Kraken, is now a vigilante who can make the knives he throws go exactly where he wants, even around a corner, while holding his breath indefinitely. Number 3, Allison, aka the Rumor, has the ability to make people do whatever she wants just by saying, "I heard a rumor." Number 4, Klaus, aka the Seance, is not only telekinetic, but has the ability to talk to the dead, only if he has his shoes off though. Number 5, simply known as the Boy, can jump through space and time and has been missing for over a decade, but is back now and freaking out about the apocalypse, which he says is supposed to happen in just a week. Number 6, Ben, aka the Horror, has been dead for some time, and all we know about him is that he had the gory ability to summon tentacly monsters out of his chest. And then of course there's number 7, Vanya, who was raised as a completely ordinary, powerless girl who's just barely above average at the violin. But of course, we know better than that. And you know the rest, for the most part. After Apocalypse Suite, Way and Ba went on to write The Umbrella Academy Dallas and The Umbrella Academy Hotel Oblivion, and so, finally, Way and Ba and Netflix announced in 2017 that the comic books were being adapted into a TV series, which is where we are today. But how accurate was the Netflix series to those original comics? The short answer? Meh. But you're not here for a short answer, and this is where the spoilers really start, so skip ahead if you want to avoid those. You have been warned. Here are the biggest differences you probably want to take note of. Ben, aka number 6, is featured pretty heavily on the show, but only as a conscious light ghost whom only Klaus can see. In the comics, we only see him in gory flashbacks that showcase his abilities. We also meet Detective Eudora Patch in the TV show, who serves as the law-abiding former love interest of Diego. However, in the comics, she is actually a he called Inspector Lupo, who has a similar workplace relationship with Diego, just no extra stuff on the side. Much like Ben, the Commission is also a much bigger mystery in the comics. We know that it employs Hazel, Cha-Cha, and formerly number 5, and that its employees time travel to make sure events in Earth's timeline go the way they're supposed to, usually by killing or protecting particular people. It also goes by the name Temps Eternalis, not the Commission, and is much less organized than in the TV show, where it's a very strictly hierarchical organization led by the Handler. In fact, in the comics, the Handler is actually a super smart goldfish, not a human woman. They also have to use special briefcases to time travel in the show, whereas in the comics, Temps Eternalis only hires people who have the ability to time travel themselves. Hazel and Cha-Cha, the Commission/Temps Eternalis' goons, are also much more Bond-esque in the comics. They're the Commission's last resort and best hitmen. Hazel is not in love with the donut shop lady, and they spend almost the entire time masked rather than throwing them off every other scene. In the show, they're mostly just burnt-out employees trying to get another job done. Netflix also took some creative liberties when it came to a few of Klaus's experiences. In the comics, he not only has the ability to talk to the dead, but telekinesis as well. Also, in Umbrella Academy Dallas, he's joined by Luther, Diego, and Allison as they deliberately attempt to go back in time using a time traveler's corpse, not a briefcase, and all accidentally end up in Vietnam. In the show, Klaus uses Hazel and Cha-Cha's briefcase and ends up there alone, only to return to the present the next episode, a year older, ridden with PTSD, and brokenhearted. Vanya's storyline is probably the most different in the comics compared to the show. In the comics, there's no crazy Leonard Peabody fanboy who manipulates and seduces her into realizing her powers, nor is she in an orchestra at the start. Instead, mysterious person called the Conductor introduces her to the Orchestra Verdampton, who want to end the world with an apocalypse suite. Overall, the story pretty much still plays out the same. Way and Ba executive produced the show, so it couldn't have turned out too much different from the comics in the end. Do you prefer the show or the comics? Let us know in the comments, and of course, hit like and subscribe. It'll help you stay up to date on all things Umbrella Academy, especially when we find out what's coming in Season 2.